1. Introduction. My name is Fiona. I am 26 years old. I lived in a small town close to the big sea. The air often smelled of salt. My life was very simple. It was also quiet, almost too quiet sometimes. I worked every day in a small bookstore. The bookstore was old and cozy. It smelled of paper and old stories. I liked my job very much. I enjoyed being around books. But every day felt almost the same. I put new books on shelves. I helped people find their favorite stories. I loved reading, and books were my quiet companions. However, despite my love for books, sometimes I felt a deep loneliness. I often saw other people. I saw happy couples walking in the town park. They held hands and laughed together. I often watched them from my small apartment. I dreamed about having someone special in my life. I wanted to share my daily moments with another person. My routine was very fixed. I woke up, went to work, came home, and read until sleep. There was not much change. I wished for something new to happen, but most days were just quiet and calm, one after another. One evening, the weather changed suddenly. It started to rain very hard. The sky became dark much earlier. The wind blew cold, making the trees sway. I was walking home from the bookstore, holding my umbrella tight. The street was wet and shiny from the rain. It was also a little slippery. I was not looking down carefully. My foot suddenly slipped on the wet ground. It happened very fast. I fell down hard onto the cold, wet pavement. A sharp pain shot through my ankle right away. I cried out a little. I tried to stand up, but I could not. My ankle hurt badly. I felt scared and helpless, lying there alone on the wet street. Then, a man appeared very quickly. He came running towards me from across the street. He did not hesitate. He looked very concerned. He came to my side and knelt down carefully. "Are you okay? Did you hurt yourself?" he asked. His voice was kind, clear, and calm. He had a gentle face. He was quite tall. He looked at my ankle with worry. He offered his strong hand to help me sit up. I felt surprised by his quick help, but also very thankful. He was a complete stranger, but he was so kind. His name was Joshua, he told me. I did not know him at all, but his help made me feel safe. This rainy evening, with the sudden pain and this kind stranger, felt like the start of something truly new. I did not know then that this moment would change my whole life. 2. A kind doctor. Joshua quickly helped me into his car. The rain was still falling. My ankle hurt, but his calm voice made me feel a little better. He drove carefully through the wet streets. I wondered who this kind stranger was. I felt safe with him, a strange feeling for someone I had just met. Soon, we arrived at a large building, the city hospital. Joshua parked and then helped me get inside. As we entered, many people greeted him. They called him Dr. Joshua. I was very surprised. He quickly put on a white doctor's coat, so he was a doctor. This explained his calm nature and why he knew what to do. My surprise turned into admiration. He led me to a quiet room and helped me sit on a comfortable bed. His hands were gentle as he helped me take off my shoe. He asked about the pain. I told him it was not too bad now. He listened carefully. He spoke in a soft voice, telling me not to worry. He said he would check my ankle. His words made me feel very safe. I trusted him. His smile was warm, making me forget the small pain. His eyes were full of care. Joshua checked my ankle very carefully. He touched it gently. He said it was a sprain, not a broken bone. This was good news. He told me to rest it for a few days and to use ice. He gave me some medicine. Soon, it was time to leave. Before I went, he took a small piece of paper. He wrote something on it and gave it to me. "This is my number," he said. "If you have any questions, please call me." His offer was so kind. I thanked him for everything. I felt a strange new feeling as I left the hospital. My heart was beating faster. I thought about Joshua. He was a doctor, a very kind man, and he had a warm smile. He was also very handsome. I felt a strong attraction to him. It was a sudden feeling, but it was clear. I had never felt this way before. I hoped I would see him again. I held his number tightly. It was a rainy night, but my world felt a little brighter. 3. Our first coffee. A few days after my accident, my phone rang. I saw an unknown number, but something told me to answer. It was Joshua. His voice was calm and kind, just as I remembered. He asked how I was feeling and if my ankle was getting better. I told him I was much better and I could walk without any pain now. I thanked him again for his help. Then he asked me if I would like to meet him for coffee. My heart beat a little faster. I felt a mix of surprise and happiness. "Yes," I said, trying to sound calm, "I would love to." We agreed to meet at a small cafe near my bookstore the next afternoon. After the call, I felt a joyful excitement. I spent the evening thinking about our meeting. What should I wear? What would we talk about? I wanted to look my best. The next day, I chose a simple blue dress and my favorite shoes. I looked in the mirror, feeling a little nervous, but mostly happy. The short walk to the cafe felt longer than usual. When I arrived, Joshua was already there, sitting at a small table by the window. He stood up as soon as he saw me and smiled. His smile was warm and welcoming. We sat down, and the cozy atmosphere of the cafe, filled with the gentle smell of fresh coffee, quickly made me feel at ease. We ordered our drinks, and then we started talking. The conversation flowed easily, like a river. We talked about many things, big and small. I told him more about my love for books and the quiet life in the bookstore. I shared some funny stories about the interesting people who came to buy books. He listened carefully, his eyes full of interest, and he laughed at my jokes. Joshua told me more about his life as a doctor. It was a busy job, with long hours and many serious moments. But he also shared a surprising detail. He loved to paint. He found peace in painting landscapes and quiet scenes. It was a side of him I did not expect, and I found it very charming. We discovered we had many shared interests, from favorite types of music to dreams about future travels. Hours passed quickly, almost without us noticing. The sunlight outside changed from bright afternoon to soft evening light. We talked and talked, sharing parts of our lives and our dreams. There was a deep and easy connection between us. We laughed a lot, and it felt like we had known each other for years, not just a few days. The conversation never felt forced or difficult. It was natural and warm, like a comfortable old friendship that was just beginning. Finally, a waiter politely told us the cafe was closing soon. We both looked surprised at the time. We said our goodbyes, promising to meet again soon. As I walked home through the quiet streets, the streetlights seemed to shine brighter. My heart felt light and full of happiness. I could not stop smiling. This first coffee with Joshua was truly special. I went home feeling happier than I had felt in a very long time, full of hope for what might come next. 4. A walk by the sea. One weekend, Joshua invited me for a walk. We decided to go by the sea. It was a beautiful afternoon. The sun began to set as we walked. The sky turned a lovely pink color. The waves came close to our feet. The air was a little cool, but I felt warm. This was because Joshua took my hand. It was the first time he held my hand, and it felt very nice. We walked slowly, just enjoying the quiet moment together. We talked about many things. Joshua told me what he liked about me. He said he liked how I always listened to him. He also said I was honest and real. These words made me feel very happy. It was good to know he saw these things in me. I told him what I admired about him too. I told him I really liked his kindness. He was kind to everyone, and I saw how much he cared for people. This was a very important quality to me. As the sun went down, the moon started to appear. Its light was soft and gentle over the water. We continued our walk, still holding hands. I looked at Joshua, and I felt something new and strong inside me. My heart was full of a wonderful feeling. In that moment, under the beautiful moonlight, I understood something important. I was falling in love with him. It was a special feeling. I felt safe when I was with Joshua. I felt happy and calm. My life, which was once quiet and sometimes lonely, was now full of new joy. Every moment with him felt like a gift. This walk by the sea was more than just a walk. It was a step into a new part of my life. It was a memory I would keep forever. I knew that my feelings for Joshua were growing stronger every day. He was becoming a very important person to me. I looked forward to many more moments like this with him. The sea, the sunset, the moonlight, and Joshua by my side. Everything felt perfect. I smiled, feeling truly content. 5. Hard days. Life with Joshua brought new things. I was learning that being with a doctor meant understanding difficult times. Joshua worked many hours. He was at the hospital day and night, helping people. This meant he often came home very late. Sometimes I would wait for him, reading a book or listening to quiet music. The apartment felt different when he was not there. I missed his laughter and his calm presence. I knew his work was important, but it was hard to be alone. I understood that his job was not just a job, it was a big part of who he was. Joshua often came home tired. His shoulders would slump and his eyes looked heavy. He was often quiet, thinking about the day's events. I learned to read his moods. When he was tired, I would make him a warm meal and a hot cup of tea. I tried to cheer him up with a gentle smile or a soft touch. I listened when he wanted to talk, but I also understood when he needed silence. I wanted to be his comfort, a safe place away from the hospital's stress. One night was harder than others. Joshua called me from the hospital. His voice was low and sad. He told me he would be very late. When he finally came home, it was past midnight. He looked very sad. He sat on the sofa, putting his head in his hands. He did not say a word for a long time. I sat next to him, my heart feeling heavy for him. He had lost a young patient that night. It was a very sad moment for him. I put my arm around him. I held him close and told him he was not alone. I told him he was a good doctor and he tried his best. Slowly, Joshua started to talk. He told me about the patient, about his sadness, and about the difficult choices doctors must make. He showed me his pain, and I saw how strong and kind he was at the same time. We sat there for a long time, just holding each other. This difficult night made our love stronger. It showed me that love is not only about happy times. It is also about standing together, side by side, during the hard days. Our love grew deeper through supporting each other. 6. Will you marry me? The day was cold outside. Snow began to fall softly. I was working in the bookstore, arranging books on the shelves. The small bell above the door rang gently. I looked up from the book I was holding. It was Joshua. He stood there, covered lightly in a dusting of white snow. In his hand, he held a beautiful bunch of fresh flowers. Red roses, my favorite. A warm smile spread across my face. My heart felt light and happy to see him. He looked a little nervous, but his eyes also showed great joy. Joshua walked closer to me, his boots making soft sounds on the wooden floor. "Hello, Fiona," he said softly, his voice warm. "I hoped to find you here." He gave me the flowers. Their sweet scent filled the air around us. "They are lovely, thank you," I replied, feeling a blush on my cheeks. "What brings you here on such a snowy evening?" He smiled, a hopeful look on his face. "I wanted to see you. And I have a question. Would you like to take a walk with me?" I was surprised but happy. Walking in the snow with Joshua sounded like a perfect idea. I quickly put on my warm coat and scarf. We stepped out into the cold, fresh air. The snow was falling more now, like tiny white feathers from the sky. The streetlights made the falling snow look like thousands of little diamonds. The town was quiet. Few people were outside in the cold weather. We walked slowly, side by side, our hands sometimes brushing together. Our footsteps made soft sounds in the fresh, deep snow. I felt very calm and happy walking with him. We walked past small shops, their windows lit with warm, inviting light. After a few minutes, Joshua stopped walking. We were in a small, pretty park, standing under a big old tree. The tree branches were white and heavy with snow. He turned to face me fully. His hands gently took mine, holding them softly. He looked directly into my eyes. His gaze was serious, but it was also full of deep love. My heart started to beat faster, a quick rhythm in my chest. I wondered what important thing he wanted to say. He took a deep breath, and then he spoke. "Fiona," he began, his voice clear, "you are very special to me. I want to spend my life with you. Every day, every season, every moment, forever." His words were warm, even in the cold evening air. Then he did something that made my breath catch. He slowly went down on one knee in the snow. From his coat pocket, he took out a small, shiny box. He opened it carefully. Inside the box was a beautiful ring. It had a bright, sparkling stone that caught the light of the street lamps. My breath caught in my throat. I could not believe this was truly happening. "Will you marry me, Fiona?" he asked. His voice was soft, but strong and full of feeling. Tears instantly filled my eyes. They were not sad tears, they were tears of pure, overwhelming joy. My dream, my biggest wish, was coming true right now. I did not need to think for even 1 second. "Yes, Joshua, yes." I cried, my voice full of happiness. He stood up and gently took my hand. He slid the beautiful ring onto my finger. It fit perfectly. He then pulled me close to him and hugged me tightly, holding me in his strong arms. The snow continued to fall softly all around us. It felt like a truly magical moment, a scene from a beautiful story. The little snowflakes looked like tiny stars dancing in the air, celebrating with us. I held him close, feeling his warmth. My heart was full of so much love and happiness. I knew then that my life would never be lonely again. My dream of love was not just a dream anymore. It was real. It was right here with Joshua under the snowy, peaceful sky. 7. Our wedding day. The morning of our wedding day was bright and clear. The sun shone softly. I woke up early, feeling excited and a little nervous. This was the day I would marry Joshua. My best friend, Sarah, came to help. She helped with my hair, making it simple. I put on my white dress. It was not fancy, but it felt perfect. Looking in the mirror, I saw a happy woman. My heart beat fast. Soon it was time to go. We went to a small, pretty hall. Outside, colorful flowers bloomed. Inside, soft music played. The hall was filled with light and the happy voices of our family and friends. My parents smiled at me, full of love. Joshua's parents were also there, looking proud. It was wonderful to see everyone we loved sharing our day. Then the music changed. My father took my arm. We walked slowly. I looked ahead. Joshua stood waiting for me. He wore a dark suit and looked very handsome. His eyes met mine and he smiled. His smile was warm and full of love. Nervousness went away. I felt calm and happy. Standing next to him, I knew this was where I belonged. The person leading the ceremony spoke kind words. Then it was time for our vows. Joshua spoke first. His voice was clear. He promised to love me, to be with me in good times and bad, and to always support me. My turn came next. I looked into his eyes and made my promises. I promised to be his partner, his friend, and his home. Each word felt real. We exchanged simple rings, symbols of lasting love. After our vows, we shared our first kiss as husband and wife. Our guests cheered loudly. We walked back down the aisle, holding hands. The celebration began. There was delicious food and sweet cake. Music filled the air, and many people danced happily. Joshua and I danced our first dance. We laughed with our friends and talked with our families. Joshua's colleagues were there too. The room was full of joy. Through it all, I kept looking at Joshua. He was my partner, my best friend, and now my husband. I felt so lucky. My life, which once felt quiet, was now full of bright light. I knew that with Joshua, I had found my true place. I thought, this is my home now. Our wedding day was the wonderful start of our forever. It was a promise felt deep in my heart. 8, our new life. After our wedding, Joshua and I started our new life together. We found a small house. It was not far from the hospital where Joshua worked. It was also close to my bookstore. This made our daily lives easy. The house was empty at first. We wanted to make it our own. On sunny weekends, we worked in the garden. We planted colorful flowers and green plants. Red roses, yellow daisies, and bluebells grew near the front door. We spent many hours in the small garden. Joshua even learned to plant vegetables, like fresh tomatoes and herbs. It was a new hobby for us to share. We enjoyed watching things grow and making the garden beautiful. Inside, we chose new colors for the walls. I painted the living room a soft green. Joshua helped me paint our bedroom a calm blue. We put up pictures on the walls, pictures of our wedding day and of our families. Each room felt more alive with our memories. We bought simple furniture that made the house feel cozy. Slowly, the house became a warm and welcoming home. It felt like a true reflection of us. our daily routines continued. I went to work at the bookstore every morning. I still loved being around books and helping customers find their next story. Joshua went to the hospital. He worked long hours, helping many people every day. Sometimes he came home very tired from his important work. But now he always had me waiting for him. I would cook dinner and we would talk about our day. After dinner, we often read books together or listened to music. Sometimes Joshua would tell me stories from his day at the hospital. I would tell him about the interesting people who came to the bookstore. These quiet times in the evening were very special to us. Even with busy schedules, we always found time for each other. We ate breakfast together every morning before starting our day. We often took short walks in the evening, just holding hands. We shared quiet moments and smiles. Our life together was not always perfect, but it was full of deep love and strong trust. We knew we were a team, always supporting each other. Every day, I felt grateful for Joshua. He was a kind husband and a dedicated doctor. I knew I had made the best choice for my life. This was our new chapter, built on shared dreams and quiet understanding. Every day brought new small joys. We learned to live together, side by side, supporting each other's paths.